What were the circumstances that led to the note?
So it was my ambulance. We were sent to a very unwell man who we found out now has sadly passed away. We were on scene for about less than half an hour, trying to stabilise him before we could take him to hospital. And we were straight out of his house into the ambulance, so they could all see us and how busy we were. And I believe there was a gentleman parked behind us who was trying to get onto his drive. Sadly, our ambulance was partially blocking the driveway. He, at some point, left us a note. We weren't made aware of this until we got to hospital, where our colleagues at the hospital then told us about the note.
Let me read this now. We could name him, but we're not going to. We've decided this morning we're not actually going to name him. He said, "You may be saving lives, but don't park your van in a stupid place and block my drive." And then this gentleman has apologised profusely. What I did was monstrous, but I'm not a monster. There's no justification for what I did. I'm deeply ashamed of my actions. I feel truly sorry and completely regret what I did. Is that enough?
Yeah, I think it's obviously he's said sorry. He's obviously aware of what he did was wrong, and he's trying to make amends for it. Would he have said sorry if it hadn't have gone so public?
Yeah, that's a very
question.
Situation. And of course, I mean, his point of, I know you're trying to save lives, but don't block the driveways. In your line of work, as unavoidable sometimes, you are mindful of other people, of course you are, but when it comes to saving a life, time is of the essence.
Yeah, sometimes we haven't got a choice. We don't actively go out to block someone in or block someone's drive. If we walk in and actually decide it's not too bad, we can move the ambulance, and we will, and we do every day. But sometimes we just can't help it.
7 months ago you qualified?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been in the service for, is it 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
What made you both want to do this job?
I just love to be with other people, meeting different people, getting to help people in there when they need us.
And your grandfather was also, he drove ambulances, did he?
He did a similar job in the army,
right,
when he was obviously a lot younger.
What about you, Natasha?
So I wasn't unsure whether I wanted to be a midwife or a paramedic. I did a lot through St John ambulance, and it pushed me more towards the ambulance side of it. My granddad died of sepsis, and the paramedics that looked after him were amazing. So.
Well, that's a note is one thing. And it's deeply distressing. You're doing your job, you're attempting to save a man's life, and someone is stupid enough to put themselves forward because they can't get into their drive. But it's much, much more than that. And you have had physical injuries.
Yes.
How have you been hurt?
I've had my wrist broke by a patient.
How did that happen?
So we were in the back of the ambulance, and I was attempting to cannulate him. And as I attempted to put the needle in, he was aware of everything that was happening. He lashed out with his feet, and because I was bent over, I tried to protect my face with my wrist. He happened to be wearing steel-toe cap boots.
Oh, God.
He got 14 months suspended sentence and 150 hours community service.
And it's just not just men either. You've also been hit by a girl.
Yeah, I've been hit round the face by a girl who had already been arrested for assaulting one of our other colleagues.
Yeah.
I've been spat at multiple times.
And she got community order and a fine.
Yes.
And Natasha, I mean, as we said there, you've only been doing the job for 7 months, but you've already been threatened as well.
Yeah, so I've been in the service for longer, just a paramedic for 7 months, but I've been spat at. The patient had hepatitis C, so obviously there was concerns over whether I'd contract anything. There's been endless verbal abuse, sexual comments as well.
And so you've been groped as well?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just two girls going to work, trying to get on with their life, trying to save other people's lives. Does it put you off the job that you've chosen? Because both of you got into this because almost like a calling in a way. You loved it, you wanted to do it. Does it ever make you think, do you know what, this just isn't worth it?
No.
No. The good side of our job, obviously, we get to help so many people and be a benefit to their life.
Yeah.
Definitely outweighs the bad side.
It must make you nervous, though, to go, given there's two girls together, do you prefer it when there is a male paramedic? Because, I mean, you were saved by a male paramedic that managed to restrain the guy.
Sometimes being girls, obviously, helps de-escalate situations.
Yeah.
Obviously, other times it doesn't. I do occasionally feel a lot safer when there's a man there. It feels like somebody's there watching your back.
This is yesterday. Paramedics were attacked as they helped a patient in Camberwell in South London. The ambulance workers were repeatedly pushed, threatened and verbally abused in a row over parking. They were said to be shaken, didn't suffer any serious injuries. The alleged attacker had been arrested. A total of 2,300 paramedics reported being attacked last year whilst on duty. That's 47% up from 5 years ago. Around 6 violent assaults take place on ambulance workers in Britain every day. This is a story you must hear from your work colleagues all the time.
Yeah. We walk into the crew room and it's a news story of who's been assaulted or who said what to
Do you know of people who've left the service because of this?
I don't know anybody personally, but I've heard stories about people who have been injured and not been able to return to work because of their injuries.
So you're hoping that the Assaults on Emergency Workers bill will come into force to offer you some sort of protection. How will that bill make a difference?
It gives the courts a lot more power to bring in more harsher sentences. There is powers there that they can use already, but I think it brings it to the forefront because it's an aggravating factor once this bill's passed, if it's passed.
Well, the new legislation would double the maximum sentence for common assault on a paramedic from 6 months to a year. And so, fingers crossed for you that it is begun to be taken seriously. Is that enough?
Obviously, we'd prefer it if there was less assaults, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. But it will give us more confidence when we do have to go to court that actually something might be done. Because at the moment, we've all got the attitude of the police will do their best, but once it gets past the police, we know it's not going to go very far. The person that spat at me got a longer suspended sentence than Amy's, and she got her wrist broken.
Yeah, inconsistent.
Yeah, very.